Lateral support. The laws of lateral support have to do with moving dirt around. When two pieces of land are adjacent to each other, i.e. they are next to each other, and one owner engages in construction activity, there is usually some kind of process of moving or removing dirt. When a substantial amount of dirt is removed from one area, the surrounding dirt loses some support. While the surrounding dirt may not lose vertical support since the dirt that it is sitting on top of has not moved, it may lose horizontal support. In law, we call this lateral support. A simple physics example with the use of sand will make this clear. When sand is poured onto a flat surface, it naturally forms the shape of a cone standing upright. However, when sand is poured into a cup, it takes the form of the cup. This is because the walls of the cup provide lateral support. If the walls of the cup were removed, then the sand would take the natural form of a cone standing upright. Normally, in rural areas, lateral support is not an issue because plots of land are big, so that the point at which dirt is removed is sufficiently far away that it will not disturb neighboring land or a building on neighboring land. However, in more urban areas, plots of land are small and close together, and therefore buildings are close together, and thus when dirt is removed, lateral support can be a big issue. Now that the physical concept of lateral support is clear, the legal concepts are easy to learn, and an example is the best way to learn the legal concepts. A and B are neighbors. A begins construction on his own land. If A's construction causes subsidence, i.e. causes B's land to collapse or cave in, then A will be strictly liable for the damage to B's land. However, the term land means land and only land, and does not include buildings and other structures that are on top of the land. Note, B does not have to wait until subsidence actually occurs in order to sue A. Thus, B can sue A when subsidence is threatening. Now imagine that A's construction causes damage to B's structures which are on top of the land. This is where the law gets a little bit confusing. When a structure on top of the land is damaged, it is important to know whether the structure's weight contributed to the collapse of the land. If B can show that the weight of his structures did not contribute to the collapse of the land, then liability depends on which rule the jurisdiction follows. If the English rule is applied, then A is strictly liable for the land and he is strictly liable for the structure. If the American rule is applied, then A is strictly liable for the land and he is only liable for the structure if he was negligent, i.e. A is only liable for the structure if B can prove that A was negligent. But if B's structures did contribute to the collapse of the land, then A will only be liable if he was negligent. Let's review the legal concepts one more time. If A does something on his land which damages B's land, then A is strictly liable for B's land. Remember, the term land just means land and does not include buildings or structures. If A does something on his land which damages the structures which are on top of B's land, then liability depends on whether the structure's weight contributed to the collapse of the land. If the existence of B's structures did not contribute to the collapse, then A's liability depends on which rule is applied. If the English rule is applied, A is strictly liable for the land and strictly liable for the structures. If the American rule is applied, A is strictly liable for the land, but only liable for the structures if he was negligent, i.e. A is only liable for the structure if B can prove that A was negligent. If the existence of B's structures did contribute to the collapse, then A will be held liable if he was negligent, i.e. A is only liable if B can prove that A was negligent.